everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Cancer Alert, and today we're going to be going over the video of the day, then we're going to be going over the news topics as usual, so let's get started. So the video of the day goes to Fury C for his Lego Clone 2017 show-off video. I think that's a pretty good video, and I'm glad he's uploading again, because he hasn't uploaded in a while. So make sure to go check out his video, and now let's move down to our next topic. So our next topic is going to be about, is canceAlert going to attack cancerAlert? Now, people have really mixed opinions about this. Some people just think he was just adding in cancerAlert to fill up some of the video to make it longer. Some people are thinking that they're terrified for cancerAlert because then cancerAlert will get a lot of hate. Or people are thinking that this will be good for cancerAlert and that it will grow support. If you want to know what I have to think about this, I think that this wouldn't be the right channel to really attack because, like, this is a news channel, and when you're trying to, like, roast somebody about the news and stuff like that, he would be repeating, like, watching the same video over and over, so I think it'd be, like, not as interesting as any of the other ones where he actually attacks a channel instead of just something that just goes over one thing, like just news. But yeah, so let's move down to our next topic. So our next topic is going to be, is the cancerPOD podcast going to die now? People are thinking that the cancerPOD podcast is going to die just like Tube News, but instead, like, one host is going to leave, then the other host is going to leave, and then I'm never going to be able to find any other hosts, and I'm just going to have to cancel it. Now, I'm not going to cancel it unless I have no choice but to. I'm going to try to keep the same hosts, and I hope that Electric will stay host, because it's hard for me to find another host, because if Electric leaves, then we're going to be in big trouble. We won't be able to actually support the channel, and then we're never really going to continue the podcast, and the podcast will die out. So, if you're watching this, just please stick with the podcast, because we haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks, and if we don't do it, people are going to stop watching our videos. But, yeah, let's move down to our next topic. So, our next topic is going to be going over, does the Jake Reviews not want to associate with Juicy Snorkel anymore and Cody Group? Now, I don't think that's true, but then again, it's kind of weird if you think about it, because even though this couldn't be true, like, he hasn't really ever responded to any of our comments, and usually when he has, it's usually just been like, hey, sup. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, because, like, you know, he's a big YouTuber. He's twice the size of both of our channels combined, and he's doing his thing, and I'm proud of him for it. But, yeah, so now let's go ahead and finish the video off with the final topic, and that is, does Electric Flash hate the cancerPOD podcast? Now, there was a theory uploaded on the internet recently. I'm going to show you a picture right now. Now, this theory simply states that Electric will leave the cancerPOD podcast before the 3rd episode is released. Now, he thinks this could happen because JW Gamer recently quit the podcast. Whenever the 1st episode went up, he announced that he was quitting the cancerPOD podcast, and, yeah, which sucks. And what makes this really, really popular is the fact that we have to have our maximum number to start a podcast would be 3 people. It has to have at least 3 people in order to do a podcast. But if someone like Electric or Tyler managed to leave the podcast, the podcast would be canceled for that amount of time. Because it's just how the podcast rules go. But will Electric actually leave the podcast? I do not know. He may or may not, but all I'm going to say is that it could be a possibility. Now, This theory was mainly based off of the fact that JW Gamer left the podcast by the first episode after. And he thinks that there hasn't been a podcast in 2 weeks, so he automatically assumes that Electric Flash may just quit the podcast. Now, I don't think he's gonna do that, man. I mean, the actual reason why he didn't upload and we didn't do the podcast is because his mic was messed up. And I just think that that's just a bizarre theory, because just because we miss like 2 weeks of a podcast, it doesn't mean that he's going to quit. But yeah, that's about it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Cancer Alert. Make sure you slap a like on this video and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.